Hello students, my name is Nisi Amadi, your teacher for today. Welcome to another edition of CRS, and today we'll be looking at Jesus' teachings about himself. And our focus is on Jesus as the Lamb, the door, and the Good Shepherd. At the end of this lesson, you should know Jesus as the Lamb, as the door, as the Good Shepherd, and the significant lessons attached to this. Jesus the Lamb. John the Baptist, a forerunner of Jesus, was sent from God to prepare the way for Jesus. Don't forget, we're looking at Jesus as the Lamb. So focus is on Jesus. One day, as John the Baptist was baptizing people at the River Jordan, don't forget where John the Baptist was baptizing, he saw Jesus coming towards him. And he said, "Behold, the Lamb of God," referring to Jesus, who takes away the sins of the world. He proclaimed, he announced to the people that Jesus was the one he spoke to them about. Don't forget, the focus is on Jesus. John the Baptist narrated the story of Jesus to the people. He said to the people as he baptized Jesus, the Spirit of God came as a dove from heaven and descended on him. John the Baptist actually didn't know who Jesus was, but it was revealed to him as Jesus was baptized when he saw the dove, the Spirit of God, descending on him. The resultant effect was that John the Baptist bore witness that Jesus is the Son of God. And that was how the ministry of Jesus began. And Jesus began to tell us parables about himself. Somebody is wondering what a parable is. Jesus went further to tell us that he was the door. And then he was able to differentiate who the thief was and who the owner of the fold was. And then he went further to say that anyone who doesn't go through the door is nothing but a thief or a robber. But he who comes through the door, he's the shepherd, the one who has legal right to the sheepfold. And he also went further to illustrate that as a good shepherd, the sheep knows his voice. The sheep does not just know his voice, will follow him. Amazingly, they will not follow a stranger because they do not recognize the voice of a stranger. Jesus still went further to tell us that he is the door. Anyone who wants to come to the Father, anyone who wants to come to him, has to enter through the door. And the good news is, if you come through the door, you'll be saved because you're coming through Jesus. So he who goes through the door is saved. He who doesn't come through the door is a robber and a thief. And his mission is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But Jesus has come that mankind will be saved. Jesus, still talking about the Good Shepherd, went further to tell us about the characteristics of a good shepherd. Don't forget, Jesus is not just the shepherd, but a good shepherd. He went further to say that a good shepherd is one who knows his sheep. And in return, the sheep knows him. And a good shepherd is one who is willing to lay down his life for the sheep. As a good shepherd, he doesn't just tend to his flocks alone. He has also come for other flocks who are out there. I want to give you an instance. Jesus has come for Christians. But believe me, he's also here for the non-Christians. So even that man who lives by your doorside, who is evil, and you think that he's not good to be saved, Jesus came for him. So he has come for those sheep that are outside, who currently do not belong to him. But it's of necessity that he must bring them to his flock. This is why the Father loved him, because he laid down his life willingly, that he may take it again, because he has the power to do so. Significance. By John the Baptist's prediction and description of Jesus, he actually meant Jesus was going to die. He was going to lay down his life. He was going to sacrifice it for mankind. The essence of Jesus dying is to cleanse and wipe away the sins of the world, your sin, my sin, and the sins of everyone. By this act, by what Jesus has done. Anyone, your neighbor, your friends, your classmates, anyone, including your teachers, who believes in him and confesses their sin, automatically is saved by the same blood that flowed when Jesus was sacrificed. By Jesus being the door, what that actually means is that Jesus is the only way to salvation. From the illustration above, he is the lamb. He lays down his life for the sheep. So he dies. And through his death, he has given us access to the Father. He has given us access to salvation. So he becomes the door by reason of his death. Jesus also went further to tell us that the thief, who is the robber, who happens to be the devil, has come to deceive. He has come to destroy. He has come to lead men to hell. I pray you don't go there, because it's not a good place to be. But Jesus has come to save mankind. Not just saving mankind, but save mankind from destruction. Jesus is the good shepherd, because he has the sheep who are the believers, the Christians, as his followers. And we follow out of love, because the same out of love, he gave his life to redeem us from sin and from bondage. He came to save us from the devil. However, there are unbelievers out there, like I earlier said, who Jesus has also come to save. We can call them the lost sheep. So he didn't just come for the sheep in the fold. He also came for those who are out there, who you can call the lost sheep. He came to lead them to salvation. In summary, Jesus is the Lamb sent from heaven to save mankind from their sin. And this was revealed through John the Baptist as he talked to the people. Jesus went further to say he is the door, the only way to salvation, the only way to get into the Father. He's a good shepherd because his children, the Christians, I know the voice of Jesus, I don't know about you. We know him. We know his voice. And he went ahead to sacrifice his life out of love. And amazingly, he didn't just come for you and I. He also came for the unbelievers out there. Now, question. Haven't looked at Jesus as the lamb, looked at him as the door, looked at him as the good shepherd, one who has come to sacrifice his life, one who has come to give us access to the Father, access to salvation. I'd like us to look at these questions and answer them. What was the main purpose of Jesus' coming to earth? A, to see how the world is like. B, to bring salvation to man. C, to gather all the sheep in the world. If you say to gather all the sheep in the world as a good shepherd, you're wrong. If you say to bring salvation to mankind, you are very correct. Because Jesus didn't just come to see how the world looks like. No. We've come to the end of today's lesson. I want to believe you understand who Jesus is as a lamb. He was meant to sacrifice himself, which he did for mankind. By reason of that, he created a door. He created an access to salvation. And is the only way to God. Is the only way to the Father. And when you come to Jesus, I want you to know he is a good shepherd. He calls to his sheep. They know his voice. They recognize his voice. And they come to him. He didn't just come for the sheep he already has. He came for the sheep yet to know him. I want to say thank you. Hope you enjoyed the class.